And we're back. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday night live. These lives are for our students and the members of our YouTube channel. It usually takes a minute for a few people to come in. Hate these first few seconds. Here we go. There we go. We have a bit of traction now. We have 5 people in. Who do we have with us here today? So I'm just going to give it another second for a few more people to join. Usually it takes a minute or so. Who do we have today? Who's with us? How are we all doing? Right, let's get into it. So, boom. So first of all, I always start off with the congratulations. So we had Holly with Peter and Finglas today. Congratulations to Holly. How you doing, Victoria? How you doing, Sad? I think I'll be seeing you soon, by the way. Congratulations to Monjoral, one of my lads in Tala. Congratulations to Aoife, one of my ladies in Tala as well. Congratulations to all of these. We had Anurag smashing it on his first attempt in Tala, one of my lads. I put him through the paces. I did not, in fairness. He got a blunter side of me. I'm on the waiting list. Go man, Harry. Go man. The top one there was Michael. I done a lesson with Michael in Colester when I was doing Colester. That would have been before November, and then he joined the WhatsApp group because he was one of the YouTube members. And then he went and passed a nice congratulations, Michael. If you are here, you're welcome, Harry. In Wexford, it's impossible to pass at first. Don't say impossible, bud. Nothing is impossible. We had Kevin passed in Loughrea. He was asking me to do a test route in Loughrea. He said the testers are sound. He failed in Dublin twice. And he said, yeah, it was pretty nice. But everyone else asked me, do a test route here, do a test route there. I can't just magically go somewhere and just know where to go. You know what I mean? I do have to be shown around by somebody. You know what I mean? Like an instructor or something. And then, but I can't just like go somewhere and just record a route. It doesn't work that way. I've never been to Loughrea, so I wouldn't know what I was doing, you know. But thanks for the suggestion anyway, Kevin. We had, this was Becca with myself. This one was actually in Finglas because I was over that way. I done a favour for herself and she smashed the first time, future ADI for Becca. She'll be coming back in 2 years, I'd say. And then, 1 second. And then we're into the questions. All right, so how are we all doing? So there's a lot of us here. Would you recommend me to get a cancellation or just wait? I don't know, Harry. I never seen you drive. If I seen you driving, I'd be able to give you a better answer. Where are you thinking about booking? But I actually heard a funny story there. I done a lesson with a fella yesterday, and he done what you're thinking of doing, Harry. He seen a cancellation for Sligo. And I was at obviously me yesterday, so obviously he failed. And I was saying, what was it like? He said it was pure different. In Sligo, apparently, this is what he told me, you don't get any directions. Apparently, it's all a one-way system, and you just have to figure it out as you go. So you're coming through the town, he was saying, and it will be a turn, but there will only be you will only be allowed to turn right. So you have to navigate it yourself. I'll come back to that, Natalie. You had to navigate the whole route yourself. Apparently, he said it was weird. It was pure silence in the car, but that's how it is. So I'm going to get into the questions now, lads. So this was from one of them in the WhatsApp group there. So assuming during the test, I'm at a T junction turning right. The new road has 3 lanes. How do I decide which lane to take after I turn right? The left lane. Always aim for the left lane. If the left lane is a hard shoulder or a bus lane, you would be in the lane to the right of the left lane. If it's a hard shoulder or a bus lane. If it's just a normal lane, aim for the left lane. A bit of clarification. Sometimes multiple lanes go straight, but I would not know that if I am unfamiliar with the roads. So yeah, aim for the left lane. If you don't know and there's 3 lanes, they're all going straight, left lane. Does the examiner tell you where you are going? So hold on. Does the examiner tell you what we are going to do on before we are on the new road? If he or she doesn't say anything, that would mean I will go straight. Exactly, yeah. So there. So yeah, so if you're coming onto a road with 3 or more lanes, or two or more lanes for that matter, you are aiming for the left lane. Unless the test, if the tester wants to take for you to take the immediate right, before you make that turn, the first turn, they will say, we're going to turn right. Just say it's at traffic lights. At the lights, we're going to turn right. And then we're going to take the immediate right. So that's telling you, don't come into the left lane, come straight into the right lane, because you'll be taking the next right. If you don't hear any information like that, aim for the left lane. Very important. And that's whether it's on 3 lanes or 2 lane road, dual carriageway. So I've seen this one on the WhatsApp group. So about a dash cam, do you pay monthly or is it something you self-monitor? We have one that we pay monthly that the company monitor. Lads, look at life is hard enough without paying for a dash cam monitor. Don't get roped into anything like that. A dash cam is literally your camera, you stick it on and it just records on a loop. When you just say it's a 30-minute long SD card, once that fills, it will erase it and start from the bottom. Don't be getting yourself roped up into, to me, that would not be too useful. That it just does it just records it itself. That seems like an extra expense you don't really need, to be honest. So here's a good question about Tallaght Test Centre. So while turning right into the test centre, if someone is at the stop line waiting to go out from the test centre to turn left, should I wait for that person to complete the left turn, or should I be taking the turn first? In that scenario, ask yourself the question, who has right of way? In this scenario, you have right of way if you're on the main road. Now, if that car is turning left and you're turning right, you probably won't be in each other's way. It is a little bit narrow. But if they do turn left, you could still actually turn right. But you do have right of way because you're on the major road. The people on the minor road have to wait until the way ahead is clear. So I hope that answers your question, Silva. And similarly, if the car at the stop line wants to go right, who will have priority here? Well, definitely you in this scenario, because they're at a T-junction, they're at a stop line, you're in front of them, you go first. It's just you're on the major road, they're on the minor. Remember them questions from your theory test with the pictures and the arrows. Thank you very much. In the housing estate, there are a lot of cars parked on the weekends, and I need to keep moving on the left side and then back into the main road and then back in. So what she's saying is, do I need to move in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out of parked cars? And the lady asked this question before we done a lesson, I think that was yesterday, and the answer is no. And I was supposed to, give me 1 second, I was supposed to have the marking sheet got, or actually, hold on. What did I do with them? I thought I had the marking sheet guidelines ready for that, but the answer is no. You don't weave in and out. If there's no oncoming traffic, you go straight down the middle. The only time you would move in is if there's oncoming traffic. If there is oncoming traffic and there's a car parked on the left, what nearly 99.9% of the people will do a big aggressive left steer and tuck themselves in behind the car parked on the left. You don't need to do that. There's a car parked on the left. There's a car coming. We don't try stop before we get opposite another parked car, and just come in just left of the center line and stop. They will have enough room, and then it's much easier for you to drive around the park car. Don't get yourself tucked into the left when you don't need to. It's just too hard to get yourself. It's just too hard to get yourself out of that position when you bury yourself in. So a few questions from a lady here in the WhatsApp group as well. Can I leave Google Maps running on my CarPlay so I can keep an eye on the speed limit? So this one came up a couple of times in the last few weeks, and apparently the answer is yes. We had a girl pass a test recently, and Waze was on her dash, and she asked the tester, "Is it okay if I leave that on?" And the tester said, "Whatever," basically. So I don't know if that's the rule across the board, or if just that particular tester didn't mind. I'm not too sure. It's not in the marking sheet guidelines, I don't think. But have it on. Unless the tester tells you to turn it off, I would suggest keeping it on. And it is good to know the speed limit. Next, she asked, can I leave the radio playing on low volume in my test? And the answer is yes, you probably can. That's not that important. Because all the tester needs to know is that you're okay to drive this car by yourself. So if you're going to be by yourself in the car and you have the radio on, that's you driving by yourself. So they don't really mind that, because that's what you're going to be doing anyway. Once you can still control the car, you know what you're doing. They're not too fussy about the car radio. I don't think. Most of them aren't anyway. Next we have, when turning steering wheel left or right, can I let the wheel spin back to straighten my hands on either side, or do I have to physically turn it back? The answer is you can let it spin. You can let it spin in your hands. The only thing is, just don't go pure roller coaster on it and take your hands off the wheel. If I'm going to let me wheel spin back to straight, just loosen your grip, let it spin in your hands. You know, that way. Don't just take your hands off the wheel like that. Let me see what else we have there. Number 4, is getting one road sign wrong classed as one grade 2? No, it's 3 or more road signs would be a grade 2. And on a roundabout, if the second exit is after 12 o'clock, which lane should I be in? I have a video about this. Are you doing your test in Tala? Because if it is, I'm going to be doing that Tala roundabout. If it's to the right, it means it's over there. Mirror signal right, just like you would if it was the third exit to the right. All right? Because it's past 12, signal right over to the center line. Very important. So question not so much about test. No, it's So this is one of the ladies in the group there. So she noticed over the last few days that there was a smell of eggs in the car, and the engine sounds a bit different. No light or car on the dash. So after a quick YouTube search there, it could be potentially the catalytic converter. Another girl posted underneath saying that happened to her fella, and somebody left ice cream in the car and it spilled all over the back and went sour. So that was another suggestion. And if your car is losing power as well, it could be something got to do with something mechanical. Definitely, that wouldn't be ice cream. But hopefully that's not too costly, and it's easy to fix. Number 3, when steering left and right, don't let the wheel spin back, as you have to be able to control. So hang on a second. So I keep telling people, stop answering the questions in the group. You're not qualified to answer the questions. These are for me to talk about in the group. So you are allowed to let it spin. I didn't read that properly when I was copy and pasting it in. You don't need to answer the questions, lads. You're also on a learner permit, so you also don't know. You know what I mean? So disregard that one. So when you're driving through a residential area and there are cars parked along the side, do you move out and back multiple times or stay in the middle? Who sent that? That's one of my students. You have a video for this in your email from the YouTube membership. It's it's for position on the straight. So does the last person that said this. Go to your email and open up your videos that I sent you for position on the straight. And there's one section in the marking sheet for weaving. Actually, hold on. Sorry. And that will explain that scenario there. You don't need to weave in and out of parked cars. Another question we have here, is it okay to steer with one hand when reversing, as you need to constantly look back and to the side, and it is very uncomfortable? You can use one hand to reverse. I can't remember where it said it. No, I don't recommend people do this, but it was said somewhere, whether it was the last rules of the road or it was the last market sheet guidelines or somewhere. But it used to say that you were allowed whip your seatbelt off, spin in your chair, put your hand behind the passenger seat, and do it with one hand. I don't recommend anybody do that, because anytime I see somebody do that, their steering does be atrocious. They're like this, steering like this, and it's just madness. When it's one-handed, they're like that, and it's a really messy reverse around the corner. You can do it with one hand, but it's not that difficult to do it with two hands. You have much better control with the steering. That's just my recommendation, but you are allowed reverse doing the old one-hander, but I don't really recommend it. How far from the curb is acceptable at the end of the reverse? So, in the marking sheet guidelines, there's never an exact answer. It's always reasonably close. So, and even if it was an exact amount, if you're reversing around the corner, the last thing you want to be doing is calculating centimeters and inches, saying, I hope I'm 45 centimeters away from the footpath. I wouldn't even be able to do that myself. It's just reasonably close. That's the answer they're going for. You can be, I don't like people being a meter wide, but you'd get away with being a meter wide. On the reverse of that, if you're right on top of the footpath and there's zero room for error, you can make mistakes, you know what I mean? So just reasonably close. There's no exact amount on that answer. And that's what it says in the market sheet guidelines. Reasonably close at a reasonable speed. Next, Anthony, I keep hearing you in the video saying back to 50. This should be a 60. And I don't see a road sign. Like, a lot of times I'm just rambling. I'm just talking. I don't even know what I'm to be saying. What video was that in? And I'll go back to it. And I'll have a look and see where my head was when I was doing that video. If I say something like that, like, it's probably because, like, I'm on a dual carriageway or something, and it would be unusual for it to be a 50. Let me know where you're seeing that video, and I'll think about where my thought process was. How do you make that judgment? Hold on, I can't read that. Also, what happens if you cross the speed limit unknowingly? Is it a serious fault? So, like, a little bit over the speed limit isn't the end of the world. You'll get it if you're on a 50 and you go 54. Just don't continue to press the accelerator and go faster. Notice, okay, I'm at 54. Come off the accelerator. Whatever you do, don't go heavy on the brake for no reason. That's what the majority of people do. They're just braking for nothing. The car behind you won't be expecting to do that. If I'm a little bit above, just come off the accelerator, let it roll to the speed limit, and continue on soft with the gas. All right? And that's the best way to judge that one. Okay, that's all the slides. I also have two bits of footage there. Now, I hope this plays, because these can be, this software, I'm not really, we'll have a look. Let's see what happens here. Hang on. So I need to remove. Here we go. So a lady put this into the group here. Now, this is bad form by this bus driver, I must say. So I hope you can see this. There's no sound. So she's driving along. Ambulance with her siren on. By the way, This is where you should have stopped. You shouldn't have kept driving that ambulance. Now, I know why you kept driving the ambulance, because there's bus behind you. So just let me show you the next clip. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to come back up and look at this bus driving. This is shocking. So the bus driver, I'm going to explain what's happening here. Heavy on the brake, flashing the lights. I'm not sure if I think she said it might have beeped. Press the wrong button there, sorry. So, what's that company? The boss of that company would not be happy at that bus driver. That bus driver would fail his bus driving test for reaction to hazards, simply because, and this is what I'd be telling people in the car as well. When you're driving the road, this bus driver was just looking at the back of your car. His eyes weren't up, looking up the road. You don't look at the back of the car, because if you're looking at the back of the car, you're not anticipating what's happening up the road. If he had been looking up the road, he would have seen the ambulance pulling out with their siren on. That's when the bus would ease off the gas and be on the brake. For him to drive right up behind you and go hard on the brake and flash you is really bad form by him. You probably had you should have had an L plate on your car as well, which makes it even worse. If the bus driver, if the boss of that company seeing that, he will be furious at that driver for doing that, because that is bad form. It really is. So I hope you're all right after that ordeal. We also had another one I just seen today. Just give me 1 second. We had a cyclist crash into the car today. This is the beauty of the dash cam, but you don't need a company to monitor this. The cyclist is on the phone and cycled straight into the car. So that's very lucky that person had the dash cam facing the back. You never know. That cyclist could have said, that car hit me when I was cycling. That camera clearly shows, you probably couldn't see it there, the cyclist was on the phone, and I don't know what he done, because he kind of went offside. He must have just cycled straight into the side of the car. Infuriating for the person who's driving that car, by the way. I hope you're all right after that ordeal as well. Because, yeah, that can be pretty scary. You automatically think, oh no, what have I done? I have hit a cyclist, and he's just cycling, texting, and he just cycles into the side of you. So I hope you're all right on that one. So, lads, if you have any more questions, put them into the comments there. I'm going to go through the comments now. Let me see. Are they on the screen? Boom, 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 boom. They're not on the screen. So the first one how are you doing, Victoria? How are you doing, Sad? How are you doing, Harry? You're welcome, Harry. What are you driving? A little beta? Nice one. In Wexford, it's impossible to pass first time. No, it's not. You have to just learn what the tester wants. It's not impossible to pass anywhere first time. You just have to put the work in. You have to do everything really well. Every time you're moving off, checking your blind spot, stopping at your stop lines, just doing the easy stuff. So then the hard stuff look after themselves. I don't even think the tester knows whether it's your first attempt or your 8th attempt. I don't think they know. They could find out, but I don't think they really care. How you doing, Harry? Would you recommend getting a cancellation or just wait? So it just depends. Like, it just depends on your driving, really. If you need work and if you're not sure about the rules of the road and stuff, I wouldn't recommend making it more complex and going somewhere where you don't know, because it just adds more complexity to everything. I can see you're in Tala. So if you know Tala, and it does make it a bit easier when you know what's going to be around the corner. So I don't recommend people go all over the country looking for a test date, but if you're confident, at the end of the day, a right turn is a right turn. Reversing around the corner is always the same, no matter where you go. So Let me know what you do in the end, bud, and let us know if you pass, and let us know what test centre you go to. Give it a bash and let us know. How you doing, Alan? So yeah, there you go. So you're in Tala and you're very confident. Now we don't want to be very confident. We want to be confident. You know what I mean? Don't be overzealous in the car either. They don't want you thinking that like especially like your car has big wheels and all on it. They don't want you thinking that you're going to be rallying around. When you get to the test centre, if you're only young, bud, I'm a respectable young fella. I'm here to do the rules of the road, and you're just there to let the RSA know that I'm not going to be a menace behind the wheel if you give me this license. You know what I mean? So just don't be. I don't like. I'm not saying that you will be, but I say the same talk to all the young people. They're just looking at you a little bit more just to make sure you're going to be responsible if they give you a license. So don't be. I don't like using the word cocky, but just don't come across as you know it all and you're overconfident. How you doing, Natalie? Have a question about the insurance disc. I know the green strip needs to be visible, but the pocket for the disc was too small, hence I folded it. Hence, good English, better English than me. Will it be fine? Instead of folding the green side, fold the other end. That's what I do. If we like with that, because if it's an official disc, they don't. It's really plain to see an official disc. Like if Access sent that out to you, it's really obvious that it's an official disc, so they don't really care too much. They will know it has a grain strip. But what I do is I fold, instead of folding the grain strip, fold the other end and just take the kind of side off the 6 or the 7 if it's next year. And that would be an even better idea. How you doing, Victoria? So failed once in Finglas for driving too slow. Oh, I hate when people drive too slow. That's what. If you ever, that's the feedback I give everybody in the car. It's like it's just. Do you know what it is? It's not too slow. It's like this bus incident. If you're seeing that video there, people are going too slow when they should be going, and then they're going too fast when they should be slowing. Everyone is doing everything backwards. It's about anticipation. I know it's safe to get up to the speed limit. Don't be shy. Give it a bit. Get up to the speed limit. And then when something gets in your way or it gets narrow or there's something in front of you, that's when you kind of ease off. So I don't like people thinking that I'm saying you have to do everything fast. It's just about knowing when to go and when to slow and not doing it backwards. And you can't catch an observation. You can't catch a cancellation slot. Just make sure you've gone to work on these issues, because with observation, until someone kind of points it out what the correct observation is, it's kind of, I know the videos, I do tell you what to do, but sometimes, even though people are watching the videos, it doesn't be enough. So just make sure you're putting the work in with your instructor. And the main thing for observation is usually looking where you're going. And if it's a T-junction known, if you look right and left and you can see, that's when you go forward, you get a better look, and when it's safe, then you go. That's usually the main thing. Best luck in your next test. I know you've been at the last live as well. How are you doing, Hamala? Hope all is well. How's the driving going? Did you tie in with Joe and Rahini? How you doing again, Aaron? You were last week as well, so thanks for rejoining. Do I need to indicate on the reverse around the corner? And the answer is no. I never do, and none of my students has ever been marked. In saying that, I don't think it's wrong if you want to signal either, because I know some people say my instructor gets me to signal. That doesn't mean one of us is wrong. I know I'm right, but that means the person's instructor could also be right. I can't see there would be a problem if you had your left signal on reversing. I don't think it would be an issue. What's the crack, Anurag? Congratulations again, bud. You passed last week. Thank you so much, bud. I had a little celebration for you at the start. Uh, any quick tips for driving on the motorway? If you go to my YouTube, I have a full video on that. I do apologize about the sound. I didn't realize that my window was open until I started editing it, which is a little bit frustrating. But I talk about merging, I talk about progress, getting up to the speed limit, I talk about changing lanes, I talk about exiting the motorway, about reducing your speed, coming to slip road. It's all there, bud. If you go to my YouTube motorway, it will be the first one. So this will probably be the last time you'll be here. Hopefully, I see you next Wednesday. But if not, I understand. You have your license. This doesn't matter to you anymore. So see you later, bud. Thank you so much. How are you doing, Michael? What do I do if I'm passing parked cars on my left and someone comes against me without stopping? Good question. So I'm driving down the road. There's a, well, and what do I do if I'm passing? So there's cars parked on your left. You're coming straight down the middle, and you're saying there's an oncoming car. In that scenario, the person in the middle goes first, usually. So because you're in the middle first, you're passing the parked cars on the left. Generally, the person in the middle has right of way. If this person decides to bulldoze at you up the middle, that's when you're saying, okay, this fella's not playing ball. That's when you could try find the first available safe little gap and just take yourself slightly off center and then let him or her drive past you. If that was the other way around and you done that in your test, you would fail your test for reaction to hazards because you were looking up the road, you seen a car come down the middle, and you decided to move to the middle and drive straight head to head with another road user. So that would be reaction to hazards, and that would be considered causing a bottleneck. That's the English they use in the Mark and Cheat guidelines. So the person in the middle goes first. If the oncoming car decides to come out to the middle and drive at you, that's your cue then to find an available gap. If they've completely messed it and now both is are head on and you can't go anywhere, it would be highly unlikely that happens. If it does, but just make that person reverse, because if you're reversing back on your driving test like this, it's game over. So it shouldn't happen. Usually the oncoming car should figure this out and should stop. I don't think it's ever happened to me before where it's got that bad. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you, bud. I hope that answers your question. Failed because I don't understand English. What can I do? Yeah. See, like, you have... So what can you do? You can bring a translator with you, bud. Bring someone, bring your brother, bring your friend. Once they can translate the message from English into your language, that's okay. But if you can't understand the tester, they won't take you out. It's the same if I do a driving lesson with someone and they can't understand me. It's pointless because you can't explain yourself. You say turn left and they go straight. That could be onto a motorway for all you know. You know what I mean? So bring a translator or learn English. The quicker way would be to bring a translator. You know what I mean? But it would be good because the road signs are in English, so it would be good to brush up on your English while you're here. Please, can you advise? I don't understand English, and I. Did you ever get deja vu before? Who's that? Sokania? Yeah. So just bring a translator. What's the story, Stephen? How you test in the morning? Best of luck. Where is it? Been watching your stuff all week. Thank you so much for the watch time. I appreciate that. You stay out, as you talking about when you're driving past parked cars, Harry? I'd say you are. Yes, that's bad form. I'm assuming you're talking about the bus driver, is it, bud? Watching from the UK. Fair play, Nor. The only thing is, I don't know how relevant my information will be if you're doing your test in the UK. There's slight differences, especially if I say a speed limit here, it's kilometers compared to miles an hour. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining from the UK. First time hearing cycling And texting? Really? Should try it. It's exhilarating. What are you missing? How you doing, bud? What's that? Crick TV? Ah, a bit of cricket. Good man. Good man on the cricket. Raheny Road is very tough. It can be tricky. It's very narrow. Mini roundabouts everywhere. It can be tricky. When I was walking Raheny all last year, the testers are sound. The area is nice. When you get familiar with the area, it's kind of just rinse and repeat. Like, the roads are narrow, but you just get used to them after a while, and people do generally get the flow of Raheny. It's not a fast test route. Like, the max speed you can go is 60 on the Holt Road and along the coast. Apart from that, it's 50 or 30. But yeah, it's a good route. I like Raheny. I actually miss working on that one. It's in Dunleary, so best of luck, Stephen. Any last minute tips? So this will probably be asked in about 10 different comments now. The tips are always the same. Check your blind spot moving off. Stop at your stop lines. If you come to a roundabout and there's cars coming from the right, they go first. When you're reversing, check your back window, check your blind spot. If there's a car coming from behind, stop. All the stuff that you would have done in your lesson, just do it again in your test for the tester. So best of luck. I hope you nail it, bud. Elizabeth, what's the crack? You have your name is familiar. Are you with us? Is it? Or your name is familiar. I have my test again on Friday. Best of luck, Elizabeth. Where is your test? Are you Finglas, is it? Or are you Raheny? How you doing, Arvind? A vague question. How do I manage progress at roundabouts? I drive a manual car, a 1 litre petrol. Should I be in second or forced to creep without stopping if it's a safe gap to go? I tend to hesitate. So with a roundabout, it can kind of go two ways. I'm on approach to a roundabout. I have great visibility out to the right. There's no cars coming. I continue on in second, especially in a little 1 litre. No bother in second. A lot of the time you'll find there's a wall or something or whatever I can't see. That's when I can't see. I'm getting closer. I'm getting close to that yield line. I still can't see. I wouldn't accelerate out if I can't see. Remember, if you don't know, don't go. That's when I would say, okay, I'm on the brake. I can't see. I'd roll it into first. Peep and creep that a little bit more. One last look. Now I know it's safe. Continue on. And the main thing is, once I've looked and it's safe, it's go. It's not look. Yes, I know it's safe, and and be real sluggish off the line. You know what I mean? I've looked. I can see. There's nobody coming. Get it done because you've looked. You know what I mean? Hope that answers your question, bud. How you doing, Irish 93? Good name. I was thinking of renewing my permit. Would be valid for 1 year as it's my fourth. Would need to book my driving test, no date, and would need to do my 12 EDTs. Would it be smart to renew? So this is going to be your last learner permit, considering this. Are you talking about because you won't get another one after November, is it? So you'd be at the mercy of finishing your 12, paying for 12. If you can drive, you could potentially swing it. I'm not sure how strict they're going to be on this. They can't just, like, if the waiting list is like 6 months to do a driving test, and then it hits November and you haven't done your test, surely they can't just say, no, that's you're not done, and then you have to start from the start. I don't know how strict this is going to be, because they can't just do that. It will be different if you could get a test day there like every 10 weeks and they've given you enough rope, and then you've tried it and you kept failing it, or else you haven't tried it. I don't know the answer to that question, bud. I'd ask the RSA on that one. Just ask them for some guidance on that one. Just because there'd be no point paying for 12 lessons to not get in, to have to do your theory test again, to do 12 lessons again. As it, I'd get advice off the RSA on that one, but just because you don't want to throw your money away either. How you doing, Alumide? That's a very popular name. I see that name a lot, or is it the same person? Thank you for the videos. You're welcome, bud. My side window stopped winding down recently. Can I get fixed after my test? So this during COVID now, you wouldn't be allowed to do your test with that, because they wanted the windows open. I don't know if they're still strict on it. I know, like up until not too long ago, they did want you to be able to open your windows. The good thing is it's been bucketing rain the last month, so they probably, if your test is tomorrow, you might be all right. If it was easy to get it fixed, I would just get it fixed, just so it's one less thing to think about on the day I test. Especially if it's a test that does want to open it, and then he or she can't open it. They'd be sort of saying, "What else is wrong with this car? Is this car roadworthy?" So I don't know the answer to that, but if you have time to get it fixed, I would say it would be, if it's a windy one, it should be cheap enough to get it fixed. I'd get it fixed. Go to a scrap yard and try find the new what are they called? The frame thing. How you doing, Carl? Thanks for the videos. You're welcome. I was wondering if you would have any tips with steering. My instructor is saying to use push pull method. But the pull push is the best method. It's not push pull. You never start with a push. Always pull and push. That's how I steer. And when I used to do EDTs, that's how I used to instruct people how to steer. Once you get that, bud, your steering will be perfect every time, because it's when you have no system for the steering. Like sometimes you do this. Sometimes people steer really small. Sometimes they do big steers. If you have one system for it, when you do it a few times, you will know exactly, okay, if I do this, the car's going to go there. That won't be enough. A little bit more. I would recommend just sticking to the pull push. I need to do a new video on that one. I do have one on the channel, but it's about 3 years old and it's horrible. So I will do a new video for that one. But try do it. But honestly, once you get it, you'll thank your instructor for it. Or be better to wait. What was your previous one? Like, yeah, if you're going to be, if you won't get a new learner permit, I wouldn't bother renewing it. Nah, but ask the RSA, because they might give you a better advice, because I don't know. I'd be just guessing. Yeah, test is in Dundalk. Best of luck with that one. Flexi Drive have a few. I don't know if it's a few or they have one new route up in Dundalk, and with Des sound. I done a potential drop of the route with him, and yeah, he was sound. He was. So have a look at that one. What's the crack, Danielle? Thanks for answering all my questions. You're more than welcome. Thank you for asking. It was me who sent in the video of the bus driver and the cyclist. And the cyclist happened the morning after. You're joking me. No way. I'm grand though. Thanks. I have my pre-test with you next Wednesday. Deadly. Yeah, that bus driver was bang out of order. He was, to be honest. And I can't believe the next day the cyclist crashed into you. Oh my god. But yeah, I won't say. I won't say it was anything got to do with you. But we will fix everything next Wednesday. I promise you. How you doing, Irish? Would be going down the automatic route and have driving experience and have a permit for the A class to add on, as I couldn't fit it into one test. Would be Would be going down the oh sorry, I read that wrong. Would be going down the automatic route and have driving experience, and I have a permit for the egg. Sorry, bud, I misread that. I don't know, bud. It's a risky one. I don't know what to say to that one. So just make your best. I'd get advice off the RSA, and I would also make me best judgment on that one. If you think you can finish it and get book a test and pass it in the one go in less than a year, go for it, and let me know how you get on. Oh God, how are you doing, Pedro? I was watching your videos and saw it live stream. Thank you so much. What if I'm almost past the green light and it turns amber while I'm about to pass it? What would happen? Would I fail? No, not necessarily. If you're driving down the road, I'm approaching a green light and I'm at the line and it changes amber, the an amber light means stop unless it's unsafe to do so. So for you to go heavy on the brake and try stop before the line and probably stop in the middle of the junction, it would be much better for you to continue on. If you have enough room to stop at the line, by all means stop. Stop every time. But if you're what it sounds like there is you're saying you're about to pass the line, just go straight through. You wouldn't be able to stop before the line anyway. So that would not be a failed driving test. It would only be a fail if the tester felt you should have stopped at that and you continued on. But as what I'm reading there is you'll be able to continue on there. But very importantly, when you are coming to a green light, this is a common this is what I say most of the time in nearly every lesson. Get off the brake at a green light. When I'm driving up the road and you're driving up to a light and it's been green for some time, as in, I think it might change to amber. This only works if you're going the speed limit. If you're not going the speed limit, don't do it. For the love of God, don't do it, because then you're just too slow. I'm coming to a light. I think it might change amber. I'm going the speed limit. Ease off the gas slightly. Because if it does change amber, because you think it might change amber, it's a much smoother stop. If you're not going the speed limit, don't do that. Just continue on because you're not going fast enough to double slow down. All right. What you don't want to do is be on the brake at a green light. All right. It's green. Green means go. Get off the brake. That's very important. That's what a lot of people are doing, anticipating that it might change, and they're braking. Somebody will ram into the back of you if you do that. So just bear in mind with that one. Continue on. If you can stop at the amber, by all means stop. If you're at the line, continue on. You can't stop at it anyway. How you doing, Luca? When I am doing reverse around the corner, is it okay to stop and check all around, or do I need to observe when the car is moving? Both is correct. You can, like, no problem stopping. You can stop a couple of times, no problem. Get a big look around, back to your mirror, and make sure, no problem whatsoever. If you can do it all in one go, great as well. But if you feel the need, okay, I haven't looked around in a second, stop the car, blind spot, back window, and then continue on. That is no problem whatsoever. Hey there, bud. One more question about roundabouts. If I'm taking the third exit, should the nose of the car align with the roundabout, or simple, just like a right turn beside the centre line? Like, all roundabouts are different. I don't know really what you mean by saying the first part of that. It's just like a right turn, mirror signal position over to the centre line, and just driving a straight line in line with the centre line. When you come onto the roundabout, come onto the inside. All roundabouts are a different shape. Like some of them will be really big, and you'd have to kind of go left to come around the inside, whereas ones will be smaller. You just go straight onto the inside. So just don't overcomplicate it. I'm taking the inside, so I'm in the right side on approach and just around the inside and around about. Hope that answers your question. How you doing, Katie? Just wanted to ask, my biggest issue is checking my left mirror for positioning and changing lanes. I'm pretty short, so I have my chair rolled up close enough to the wheel to reach the pedals. I feel your pain. I'm a short man myself. Um, so my biggest issue is checking my left mirror for positioning and changing lanes. When you say you're, hold on, you have another comment below. Maybe you elaborate more here. And when I look at my left mirror, I have to really move my head. Ah, your mirror's in the wrong position. I really had to move my head to see it, which really makes me so that means your mirror is in the wrong position. For you to check your mirror, if you have to go like this, it's not in the right spot. So you, when you're doing your side mirror, so everyone everyone does this when they're changing their mirrors. They lean forward and they start moving their mirror, and then when they put their head back to the headrest, it's not aligned. Leave your head at the headrest, look at your mirror, and have it aligned so you can see the very back corner of your car or the back door handle. You don't want to see any of the passenger door. That's too much of your car. So because you said you're really far forward in the car, you'll probably have to push it away a good bit more, would you? Yeah, you'd have to push your mirror away a lot more. So that will help you with that. How you doing, Tamina? I actually seen you getting into your car yesterday. You're having great chats with the tester. It looked like you did your exam and you got 11 grade twos. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Just keep the pressure on. If you're in the position to do so, try book your test again, and you're nearly there. You just need just that little bit more fine tuning. But unlucky, you will get it next time if you just keep the pressure on, I promise. How you doing, bud? Thank you so much. You're more than welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks for asking questions. If nobody asks questions, this will be a silent disco this one, you know what I mean? So thanks for asking. How you doing, Natalie? When performing a turnabout, is it acceptable to spin the wheel before changing gear? It is, yeah, but if you see the videos I always do, I always keep it kind of consistent with Gosho. So I've done the first bit, I've drove across. Instead of being across the road and going, trying to steer the wheel all the way, and then go into reverse and then move, it will be better to go into reverse, get a start on your steering, and then start reversing back and finish your steer on the way back. It will just mean you're not stuck across the middle of the road for too long. I actually, in my latest turnabout video, I speak about that. It's just being stuck in the middle of the road too long. Hope that answers your question there. But if you can do it quickly, not the end of the world. How you doing, bud? Ruig. Sounds Irish. When we are doing the three turn around, when we are doing three turn around or reverse back, is it necessary to sorry, bud? Is it necessary to turn on indicator for your three turn around? Yes. For the turnabout, you do signal. For the reverse back or the reverse around the corner, you don't. So yeah, just make sure you move off from a park. You signal moving off for the turnabout. What's the story, Rory? What percentage of people do the test in automatic? Good question. Like, if you had asked me that in, say, 2020 or 2021, I would have said 75% manual, maybe 74.5% manual, and the rest automatic. Looking at it now, bud, it looks like if it's not 50-50, automatic is probably leading the charge. People are going automatic now. It's just I just think it's because just the influx of the Japanese cars, they're all auto. It's hard to get a good UK manual car. It's easier. Life is easier when you have an automatic. Sitting in traffic and all is a lot easier. If it's not 50-50, I'd say it's higher automatic. And that's just a rough guesstimate off the top of my head, but interesting question. Thanks for that one. How you doing, Eri? I would love to have a mock driving test with me. I have my test on the 25th. If it's the 25th of March, I might be able to squeeze you in. But if it's the 25th of this month, definitely not. Unfortunately, sorry about that. But best of luck in your driving test. And the only reason why I would go to Rahinia Klessa to do a mock test will be if it's recorded for YouTube. Because I don't mind doing content in the other areas just for a bit of diversification for the channel. But Joe does all of my Joe helps with all the lessons in Rahini for me, and Joe is deadly. So big up to Joe. How you doing, Elizabeth? Hopefully I'll pass this time. We're all hoping for you as well. Hopefully you can just put this behind you and you can continue on with your life. So best of luck on that one, Elizabeth. How you doing, Michelle? You have your driving test tomorrow in Dunleary. Any tips? So as I say to everybody that asks for tips, the people that have been on all these calls will be able to recite this. It's always checking your blind spot moving off, always stopping at your stop lines. If you come to a roundabout and the traffic is approaching from the right, they go first. It's just doing the rules of the road, demonstrating to the tester that I'm confident, I know what I'm doing, and you just demonstrate the rules of the road, and just concentrate until the very end. So let us know how you get on. Hopefully we see you in the next live and you can celebrate your pass. All right, so best of luck. How you doing, Ruig Mara? Did you ever get deja vu before? You asked me that one already, but just when someone comments, I don't like jump straight on that comment. I have to read them in sequence, otherwise people will be forgotten. So I answered that one already. How you doing, Justin? Doing reverse around the corner. In case a car comes from behind, how should we react? Shall we stop the car? So yeah, I'm reversing around the corner. There's a car coming from behind. Yeah, you do stop the car, but sometimes if you're on a really long road and the car is about 500 meters down the road, you keep on going. But okay, I know there's a car coming. I know I will be stopping. When the car gets a little bit closer, that's when you would stop and let them drive past you. A lot of time people do see the car too early and stop too early. It's a little bit pointless because you're nowhere near the car. When they get a bit closer, then stop. I don't want to give an exact number, but if I was to give an exact number, I'd say 100 meters and then stop. But there's no amount, official amount. How you doing, Osama? Imagine I'm driving on a 30 or a 50 zone and going straight. There is a pedestrian walking in the same direction as me, not crossing the road. Should I slow down? No. Because they're on the footpath and you're on the road. Don't do that. It's different if, okay, I'm driving down the road, the pedestrian, you always know what somebody is going to do before they do it, just by the way they kind of position themselves. Okay, I'm driving down the road, and this happens in every lesson that I do. It's just doing things backwards. I'm driving down the road, a pedestrian is literally walking in a straight line, drive past that 50. He is not that's not got to do with you, because the pedestrian is walking in a straight line, I'm driving a straight line, no bother. If you think that pedestrian is kind of moving over towards the side of the road, or they do a little look over them, if someone does that, that means they're going to cross the road, and they start beelining over. Step one, and this is very important, is just come off the gas. Every lesson I had this week, we realized, I can't remember who it was with, just because it's okay to not press any of the pedals. Just because you're not accelerating, it doesn't mean you have to brake. Do you know what I mean? That's what a lot of people do. Okay, step one in slowing down is not brake. Step one in slowing down is coming off the accelerator. It doesn't mean brake. It just means not accelerating. So I'm driving down the road. The pedestrian looks like they're going to come across and maybe cross the road. Step one, off the gas. Just don't accelerate. The pedestrian will do two things. They will either turn around, look at you, and decide to keep on walking straight on the footpath. That's when you continue on at 50 or the speed limit. The other thing they will do is they will turn around, see you, and run out in front of you. That's when you're on the brake. Depends how close the pedestrian is, determines how hard you press the brake. If they're a good bit up the road, just soft the brake. If they run out in front of you and you're close, a little bit harder. I do have I have a video for that on my YouTube. It's from the whiteboard, and I explain that exact scenario. The same scenario when there's a car reversing out. It's the same thing. Okay, the car's reversing out. They've looked at me and stopped. I keep going, or they've looked at me and they pull out. I stop. You know what I mean? If you can find it, it's from the whiteboard. I thought it was a good video. I kind of explained a good bit of stuff. Just not the most exciting, but I would recommend watching that one. Good question. Thank you. Thanks for you're welcome, Irish. I'll give them a call tomorrow. Yeah, go for a bud and let us know next week what you decide. It's every Tuesday at 8. Yes, yeah. I'm delighted. Thank you so much, boy, for watching. Really appreciate it. On a roundabout, if it is clear, should I stop or just slow down and go? So ask yourself the question, I'm coming to a roundabout. What's the road markings at the roundabout? Is it a stop line or a yield line? If it's a stop line, which it will never be, you would stop, but it won't be. It's a yield. So I'm in position. I've looked to the right. There's no cars coming. Don't stop. Continue on. Tips for doing the test in a bigger, more powerful car. If you need more time to think, roll it into first off the clutch. If you're turning right and it's narrow, use first gear. Don't do any T-junctions coming out in second. It'd be too fast. Clutch in into first. Do your observation. I know it's safe. Then find your bite and continue on. When you're in the 30s, what car is it, by the way? When you're in the 30s, I do put it into third, but then I'm just really soft with the gas. Don't feel the need to press the gas hard because you'll just go way above the speed limit. But apart from that, if it's a diesel, like the diesels are the grand they are. Once you can control your own car, the only thing I would recommend, if the tighter turns, do them in first. But apart from that, it's the same thing. Look at this fella. when did I teach you the theory test? Was that 2020 or something, was it, bud? What are you, a truck driver now, are you? So congratulations, bud. I see the dog is still going strong. Well done. Thanks for looking after your doggy. How you doing, Asma? Imagine I'm on a... Oh, you done that one already? Deja vu. I think he is not live. What? Yeah, sound pal. You're welcome, bud. I failed in fingers because I pressed the brake in amber and the front tires were in line. So you came to an amber and you pressed. So I failed in fingers because I pressed the brake in amber and the front tires were on the line. So are you saying you got to an amber and you went heavy on the brake and you stopped at the line and the tester, and you were failed for that? The tester probably felt you shouldn't have stopped there, you should have just kept on going. You're welcome, bud. Can you recommend a good dash cam you think is worth the money? I have no idea, bud. Go on to Amazon, read the reviews. But I wouldn't be able to recommend one. They're all the same thing, you know what I mean? Someone did put one up onto the WhatsApp chat there, but I don't know. But to be honest, they're all the same. How you doing, Kieran? Just wondering, if you're turning right from a main road, do you have to check both mirrors or just the right side mirror? So I'm turning right from a main road. So mirrors, inside, outside, signal to the right, position, straight. into second, off the clutch, looking ahead for oncoming traffic, look to the right and turn. Don't worry about checking your left mirror when you're turning right. If I was driving a truck or a bus, I would for the tail swing, but not necessary for a normal right turn. A time when I probably would check my left mirror is if I was at traffic lights. There's a couple of junctions in Finglas in particular, and it's really narrow. So sometimes I would just make sure I know what's beside me because cars can overtake on the left. But usually, check your mirrors on approach. Look ahead for oncoming traffic. If there's none, I look down to the right. Look down the road, not so much your mirror when you're turning right. Just looking where you're going. I got mirror. Thanks. Thanks so much. And I'll check my mirror position and going forward. Thanks so much. You're more than welcome. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for joining the YouTube membership. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so before your next drive, do your cockpit drill correctly. What's the correct, Daniel? My NCT is out, but I have it booked. Can I still do my driving test? So the way they want it is valid, in date, and in the window. Having your NCT booked is not having an NCT. For all you know, you could fail that for having no brakes, so that will not count. It's this, so you definitely won't be able to do your test with that. Also, if you have no tax, but you have the receipt on email, that's not going to do you either. It has to be valid, in date, and in the window. Same with your license. So if someone has that test soon and the license hasn't arrived in the post, and they sent me a screenshot, will that do? And the answer will be no. It has to be valid, in date, and in your pocket. So yeah, so just do you have your driving test soon, bud? Hopefully you can get. So by the way, lads, with the NCT, if I need to get my car NCT, right, I will just book the first available date, whatever, 6 months away, just a rough number. Once it's booked, I go on every hour on the hour looking for cancellations. Okay, I see a cancellation for somewhere else for 1 month earlier, I take it. I'm still on every day I'm looking, I see another cancellation for a month earlier for anywhere, Galway, it doesn't matter, I take it. I just keep getting myself back down the queue until it's close, and then I zone in for Dublin. So, and the people in the NCT centre are sound. If you ring them and say, I have a driving test, I need this done, they are more than helpful. They'll help you get a test date. They will also tell you that the system is live, that when a cancellation comes in, you can see it on the system as well. But they're more than helpful on the other end of the phone. So get on to them and they will happily help. I got marked 2 grade for progress at roundabout. To what should I pay attention next time? Just when you know, if you're marking for progress at roundabout, the tester felt you could see to the right, there was nothing coming, continue on, get it done. How are you? Also, when you when there is car parked on the side of the road, do you only indicate if you are crossing the white line? You can signal if you want. I don't really signal too often. Just if I'm letting other people know what I'm doing, or if I'm crossing a continuous a broken white line, I would. But yeah, if there's nobody around, just mirror move in the housing estates. You're welcome, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining. I keep oversteering. How do I fix it? Just do less. Just so it depends on the context. What's it for? If it's for is it for the reverse around the corner? Is it for turning right? This is why if you're on the call later on, someone mentioned about the pull push. So the way why I like the pull push is because I know if I'm turning right, I bring my right hand up and I pull the wheel down. I know that that's going to get my car to here. If my car is coming in towards the footpath, it will just be a little bit of push up and that will get you around. So just if you learn the pull push system, that will eliminate that, because you will just be doing as much steering as you need. It's hard I had to show you in the car. It's kind of hard to explain. Right, lads, I'm an hour and 10 in now. I'm running out of steam. In a crossroad, if we want to turn right or left, how should be the speed? Because on one of the results that I failed my exam, the examiner told me that I did it too slow. It depends on the road. Like, there's no exact amount, because I wasn't there. Could you see left and right? How big was the road? Was there cars parked? There's just too many variables. You just go the speed that's safe for the conditions you're doing. So he said you were too slow. The tester probably felt, yeah, you could see right. I know it was a he because I seen you. The tester probably felt you could see right and left. Go for it instead of overdoing it. How you doing, Elaine? When driving my car, back window gets really foggy. Can I keep the windows open at the back to help clear the window? Is your rear window demister not working? You know, the rectangle with the kind of 3 little smoke lines? That's what that's for. If it's not working, yep, by all means, keep your window slightly open. Yep. Is it a good trip to eat a banana and toast before the test? I don't know, but do you like banana and toast? If you don't like bananas and toast, I wouldn't recommend eating it. But don't do anything fancy. You know what I mean? You don't want to give, like, people are always saying, "Oh, I have this rescue remedy." If you don't normally drive with rescue remedy, don't drink a bottle of it before your test, because it's just going to upset your stomach and you won't be able to concentrate. Just do what you normally do. You know what I mean? You'll be grand, bud. You'll be grand. But if you like banana on toast, by all means, eat it. It's a nice, nutritious breakfast. What's the crack, Warlord? Thanks for joining us again. You have your test tomorrow. What is your tips and tricks for me? You heard me in the last calls. Always check your blind spot moving off. Stop at your stop lines. If you come to a roundabout and there's traffic coming from the right, they go first. Look where you're going, and all the usual stuff. Do your reverse around the corner good. Do your turnabout good. The correct observation, and learn your signs and questions. There's a playlist in the comments, not the comments, what's it called? There's a playlist in the description. It's the second link down, 31 videos to help you pass your driving test, all for free. So get stuck in. Best of luck, Warlord. Sorry, bud, I cut that short. Best of luck, bud. Thanks for joining us. Let us know next week. Quick cast moments. Good to see it again, bud. Observation moving off. If I stop in traffic, then go again. In the space... No, bud. If you're stopped in traffic, you don't do your blind spots moving off. I just go left mirror, right mirror, handbrake down and go. You only check your blind spot if you're moving off, as in if you're parked at the side of the road or if you're changing lanes. If you're just in a line of traffic, you don't need the blind spot. It's excessive. You don't need to do it, bud. Hold on, how many questions left? Lads. Hang on, there's about 100 questions there. No, lads, I have to call this a night, man. There's about 100 questions there, lads. I can't do all this. Hold on. A lot of them are... no, there's too much. No more questions. I'm going to blitz these ones. How can I improve progress on roundabouts? Answer that one already. A 2.2 litre diesel Mazda CX-5. Nice. Yeah, they're big enough out of bus them, are they? Is that the bigger Jeep or the more compact one? But yeah, in the tighter right turns, roll it into first. Definitely, it'll be much easier to control the car. Any tight corners, do them in first. But slow it right down into first, off the clutch, and turn with your foot off the clutch. Hey then, William, should I be in second or third when going down the 30? Third gear. I prefer third gear. And then if you're in a bigger diesel, when it gets narrow or there's cars parked, that's when you could bring it back to second. If you're in a bigger car, if you're in third, once I'm in third, soft with the accelerator. The second you press it hard, it's going to struggle and it's going to force itself up to 40. So to answer that question, third, you have your theory test in 2 days. Interesting. Best of luck. Sorry, what? Head upper. You have your theory test in 2 days. I didn't prepare yet. How could I make it? By preparing. I can't answer that. How you doing, Reginald Phil? Will, on a street light, red light turns green. Is it okay to press the brake pedal while releasing the handbrake? If your handbrake is up, clutch up to the bike, set your gas, and off you go. You shouldn't need the double brake. If your handbrake is up, you don't need the foot brake. Oh, yes, that's the same question about 3 times. Oh, sweet. How you doing, Kieran? Yeah, welcome. Great channel. Yeah, deadly. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate that, bud. If I touch the curb during the reverse, is it a fail? Hitting or mounting the curb is a fail. If you brush off it, if you're doing really well in your test, you'll get away with a grade 2, but just try not let yourself hit the footpath. I think I'm going to hit it. Just stop the car. If you're trying to process the information as you're coming back, oh no, I'm going to hit the path. What do I do? Just stop, think, steer right, and then get off the path. Try not hit the path, whatever you do. Thank you. You're welcome, Sarah. You're more than welcome. I really appreciate it. Everyone calling me Anto today. Thank you so much. How you doing, F McDonald? Your passed a test with no result, with no faults. Feels like it was a fluke. I'm feeling very anxious about driving. Look, you pass with no. That's the RSA telling you that you're perfect at driving. You know what I mean? So, congratulations. Really well done on that one. How strict are they with parking at the end? If I'm not in the lines, yeah, definitely, bud. If you're really bad, you can fail your test for parking at the end. If you're, depends on the test center. Sometimes it's parking spaces. Try drive straight in. When you're driving straight into a spot, take it as wide as you can to swing in. Don't come in narrow like that. So wide and swing in, and you'll be able to get a nice and straight in between the lines. What's the crack, Carl? I'll keep at the steering. Keep at it. Once you get it, you'll have it. And since you mentioned the NCT, mine is out today, but I've a booking for 2 weeks' time. Would an instructor be happy to use my car or theirs? You have no NCT, bud. If you have no NCT, the tester definitely won't take it. Your instructor shouldn't. But so you probably have to use your. Now, when you say instructor, do you mean instructor or tester? How you doing, Josiah? Really appreciate your welcome, bud. Thank you so much for watching. Is it okay to cross a continuous white line a little bit when going around a parked car? Yes, 100%. They shouldn't be parked there. I'm going to skip that one because you asked that 5 times. Do you think I'd be allowed to have a plug-in speedometer? Sorry, how you doing, Andrew? On my dash during a test, I find it difficult to read the actual speedometer. There won't be any issues with that whatsoever, I don't think. I have my theory test. Oh, you said that already. Why? Give me a second to get to your questions, lads. How you doing, Saoirse? Turning junctions, and I feel I need more to steer. It's oversteering. Yeah, I think I know what you mean there. I'm not around out looking at the right, but the cars does not have any indicators on and exit to my side. I've missed a couple of chances. I'm running out of steam here, lads. Let me just count how many of these there is. It's fucking too much here. Right, I'm going to just finish at when your man here says, hi, sir, pass test today. Lovely stuff. So that's about 5 more. So I have missed a couple of chances to go due to not noticing this. Is there any tips? If there's cars coming from the right, they go first. If they're not indicating, but they turn left, when it looks like they're going left, if there's nobody following outside of them, that's when you could go. Just if they are coming from the right, they do go first. So don't pull out in front of somebody just because they haven't got a signal on. some of these questions. I know, but I know. Uh, jeez. Instead of a banana and toast before I test, I'd recommend 30. Yeah, that's a good way to start the day. You're welcome. Do you ever get sick of driving? I love driving. The only problem is I'm never driving. It's always somebody else. Is there any common mistake Brazilians do on that test? I don't think I have a nice answer for this one. um, the Brazilians are grand. I'm only messing. The Brazilians are grand. They're good. They're good people. They're always good crack. Common mistakes Brazilians make: not looking where they're going, turning right. Definitely. Yeah, I do have my demister. One off the back window. It just takes ages to clear it. Well then, yeah, just open your window and hit your demister as well. How you doing, Colin? You know how you talk us through what you're doing in the drives? Yeah. Is it a good habit for learners to do that as well? You can do it if you want. Just what I do tell people is if you are going to do it, make sure you say the right thing. Because if you say the wrong thing, if you say the wrong thing, you'll probably do the wrong thing. So I do like, so if I've been in the car with so many people when they're speaking out loud, it's just like they'd say, okay, I'm going to slow at this green light. If the tester hears you say that and you start bringing your foot over to the brake straight away, that you're telling them you're going to do something wrong. So try keep it on the inside. If it works for you, great. You can do it if you want, but just try make sure you say the right thing. And we're done. So I have this fella here saying hi. How you doing, bud? Congratulations on passing your test. And thank you so much, Naomi. So I take it you're Brazilian. Merci beaucoup. I don't speak French, but I'm assuming that means thank you in French. You're more than welcome. Thanks for the questions. So that's a record-breaking 1 hour and 22 minutes. I'm up since 5 o'clock. I haven't slept in a few days. So, and I probably won't sleep after this now because I have too much screen. So I'm going to just leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining. See you next Tuesday. And best of luck to everyone in that driving test. Thank you.